Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and unless you live under a rock or something, you are probably aware by now that it is Warhammer Fest, and today was day one. I'm sure you've already seen all the reveals, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to just go through everything that was shown off today. I'm going to give my thoughts, my feedback, and what I plan to do with any of the models revealed, or if I plan to do anything with them at all. So without further ado, let's jump in and start talking about it. All right, so to start things off in a pretty big way, we have this brand new unit of Chaos Space Marine Possessed. It was a pretty old kit. It was definitely in need of an update, so I'm glad that they did that for sure. As you can see on the screen right now, I'm just going to go through all the models that were shown, and they look pretty amazing. And this will come up more in the video. These like actual like twisted like fleshy half demon things, they're not really my cup of tea. They're not really my vibe. As you know, my World Eaters army is not really showing too much actual like chaos mutations, but credit where credit is due. They are fantastic looking models. They're amazing sculpts. They're super detailed. As you can see, each of these gentlemen here on the screen are fucking twisted in some way, and I really like that they've gone the route of they're all very different and very unique, and they can all kind of like be made to represent different gods if you wanted to, but they also do have god specific things. Like the one on the screen right now definitely looks a little more nurgly to me. It's got those kind of insecty claws coming out the side, ripping apart a Primaris Marine, but he could definitely be made to work for a different chaotic god if you wanted to, or just be undivided, of course. As I said, they're all very twisted looking, but what's really cool is it says in the article that they're quite big. These guys are actually going to be like Gravis armor sized, so they're a bit of a step up from your normal Marines. And in fact, I think that these guys are going to be more like the Greater Possessed that they released a while ago, and I think it was the Shadow Spear box set, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that those Greater Possessed are going to just kind of be like the new Possessed, like all these Possessed going forward, and whatever else may or may not come with them. I think that's what we're going to be looking at, not only in terms of stats, but like in terms of size as well. So if you have some of those Greater Possessed, or you've converted some more to be in that sort of vein or size, I think they're going to fit in really well with these guys. Again, like this guy on the screen here, amazing model, super detailed, not really my cup of tea, but I think anybody that has this style of Chaos Marines is going to be super happy with these. They look amazing. I hope that they're not monopose. I hope that there's lots of different options in the kit, or they release a separate kit that is like that. But either way, I think there's a lot of options with kit bashing and stuff to make them different. So I think there's one last image to show here. Yeah, it's just some close-ups of the different options here. As you can see, we've got like one guy has a chainsword, but even that chainsword has fucking nasty tentacles coming off it. So yeah, they look rad. I would love to see a whole army of really mutated weird guys. It'd probably be best as like a word bearers army, I would think. But so moving on from these guys, we get into the mortals. So this is probably the only kit shown today that I would consider getting, and obviously I'm going to wait and see where that goes. But these are your generic Chaos Cultists. And again, like for basic Cultists, look how detailed these guys are. Look at all the different, textures, armor pieces, cloths. Each model super unique and different looking. Hopefully they're built in a way that it's easy to swap arms and heads and stuff, so that if you wanted to have like, say 60 of them in an army or something crazy like that, it wouldn't be too hard to diversify them. Something I can't stand is to have two of the same model, but again, just like look at these guys. Look at like each one is so different from the last. They look super cool, and it says in the article, and you can definitely tell just looking at them, that these guys are kind of made in the same vein as the Blackstone Fortress Trader Guard or Cultists or whatever they were supposed to be in that set. So I definitely think if you had a bunch from that set and you can mix in some of these guys, I think you'll be looking at a really good and diverse group of cultists for your army. And yeah, as I said, like because these guys aren't super, like they don't look twisted. They just look like crazy mortals, like kind of that Mad Max vibe. I could see these going into my World Eaters army. Yeah, I don't think I would ever want a ton of them, but maybe like 20 could be cool to have, just to have some cheap guys to throw around. Now, these guys all have the melee weapon pistol loadout, so I am curious if there's going to be a separate set with the rifles, the auto guns or whatever, or if they're just not going to have that anymore. They didn't show, I don't see any in here with it, and they didn't show anything that indicated it was coming, so I'm curious if that'll be part of this set, or maybe they'll do a separate set, because historically you've always had a melee option or a ranged option. Not that it really makes that much difference at the end of the day, but it would just kind of suck if you're somebody that already had a whole bunch of the shooty ones, and then now they're not really, don't really have rules to represent that. But yeah, as I said, either way, I'm super digging these models. I think they're really cool, and I think it opens up a lot of kit bash opportunities. Now, from there, we get into some fucking weird stuff, and it only gets weirder from here, boys. Look, look at this thing. Like, like, look at its leg. Look at its fucking cancer leg. It's, oh my god. So these are the accursed Cultist Mutants. And so these are your mortals that have really been touched by the ruinous powers. They really drank the chaos Kool-Aid in full gulps. Oh my god, look at this look at this guy. Look at this dude. Oh, see, and it's like going from here, it's like you can almost see like in their faces and stuff, like mortals should not be dabbling in chaos because they always end up not having a good time in the end. As you can see, this guy here, he doesn't look like he's liking it so much. He's not vibing with it. But anyway, it's the same with the possessed. I really like what they've done with these, that they've made them not. It's like they are and they aren't mono god. Like they've done them in such a way. Like look at this guy here. Like that there. Like that to me, just because it's green, like it could be Nurgle, but also with the all the eyes and stuff, it could easily be Tzeentch. So it's like, but then he's also bloated, so like that could be Nurgle too. Like each of these are done in a way that like you could really easily paint them in a way to represent one god, or they would be totally okay to just be random generic chaotic nonsense. Like they don't have to be one thing or the other. Sometimes like some of their chaos models, they go so hard one way or the other that it's like, okay, it kind of has to be Slaanesh or Tzeentch or whatever. So it's cool to see like this guy here, like it's red, so it kind of is Khorne, but like it could also just as easily be, a weird Tzeentch thing or a weird Slaanesh thing or whatever. And yeah, so again, like these are beautifully made models. They're extremely detailed. I'll be curious how many like points these things are, because that's always something with me, is like I don't really like to buy these like crazy detailed models and then like put so much work into painting them and then they're actually worth nothing on the tabletop. That's just kind of a nitpick. That's just kind of a me thing. And again, like this style of chaos isn't really what I want for my army personally. Like look at this guy. He's like just birthing an octopus as you do, just casually there. But yeah, it's not really my thing. And like the theme of my world eaters is they're stealing corrupted machines from the Dark Mechanicus and all that, and kind of leaning into the more demon engines and less like actually mutated people. But again, like there's so many armies that I would love to play against this. Like I just don't want to paint it personally. It's not my thing. But anyways, it segued faster than I thought it was going to. But look at this fucking thing. I can't believe anybody saw the silhouette of this. Because I saw this on the World Eater things, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it could be Demon and God." Look at this fucking thing. And this is what I was saying. Like, the more and more mutated you get, the less the mortals are having a good time. Does that guy look like he's enjoying the chaos, receiving the chaos Kool-Aid right now? Taking that chaos D a little bit too hard? No, like that's not a good time. It's like literally there's just a demon just kind of are built around the person. Same with this one. Like the guy's there, but like not really there. Like he's just kind of a meat puppet hanging around. Again, like fantastic sculpts. I think these things look amazing. These are your Accursed Cultist Torments, they're called. And these guys, I think it was kind of hinted that they could be part of the other Accursed Cultist box and maybe run them in the unit as like a squad leader maybe. Or I think they can be on their own. And but I also think that these guys would be perfect for a normal Chaos army to run them as spawn, like especially this thing. Like that, tell me that doesn't, like that's what these are. These are basically a Chaos spawn. again, like amazing models, super cool. I love that they're not one god or the other. Like this is kind of Khorne with that head, but also Slaanesh with the claws. Um, they really they've dialed in how to do like chaos undivided with these things, and I really like that. Yeah, there's not much more to say. I'll just keep repeating myself. They're amazing models. They're super cool. Really fucking weird. Not for me, but I do like them. Now, this is well, we're getting towards the end here, and these guys I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't know if they really fit in with me, but I could probably make a kit bash unit to represent them. Depending what the rules are, they could be cool. So these are your Dark Commune, and this is that Cultist Command Squad HQ unit that was rumored quite a while ago. And now I kind of see these guys being like kind of a Gaunt's Ghost kind of thing, where they're all characters, but they're also a unit of characters. So it seems like each guy in the unit is probably going to be doing a different thing. Obviously, you got Sword Boys here, knock off Nazgul. He's probably the fighty guy. This guy here with this great big demonic standard and the octopus up his sleeve. He's probably going to be. He's definitely like giving out buffs of some sort. Maybe he helps summon in demons or something. I don't know. They look very cool. These are, again, somebody else said it too. It might have been Valrak. They honestly look. They could be fantasy. Like if you just took away that man's gun, gave him a stick or a sword or something, you could easily be like a chaos fantasy guy. Yeah, I love the model. I love the fire coming out of the mouth of that standard there. But again, I can't like they get kind of a weird look. And while I do like them, I don't know if they super fit in with the other stuff necessarily. They kind of seem like they're doing their own thing. And if I was going to make Cultist Command Squad, I feel like I might do something a bit different. I don't know what Brainiac is doing down there in the bottom. A bit of an odd-looking gentleman. Odd gentleman down there. But yeah, I do like the models. Maybe not for my army, but I do like them. Now, getting away from chaos. Everybody thought there was going to be big squat reveals today, myself included. There was actually only one model. What you see on the screen is not the model they showed off, but this apparently is the old-time version of it, and it's a squat trike. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this right here doesn't really fit in with their current future power armor vibes, but this thing does. It's a hover trike. I mean, it's a hover trike. Looks like it's got at least two guns, one on the front, and he's holding another. And it says these things can come in units. It looks like a pretty big base. I'm thinking kind of close to like maybe a Scout Sentinel type size, but shorter. And probably a similar role, probably fast and like kind of an annoying amount of wounds, like an annoying amount of tankiness. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like the details are cool. It's a very unique model. I just don't know if I really like. I'm not super sold on this version of squats, this version of Space Dwarves. Maybe tell me in the comments what you think of this guy. I think he's kind of a dividing model, more so than the little infantry guy was. It's a cool model. It looks cool. I could see maybe kit bashing it into something. Maybe it's like I can make a Kroot speeder out of it or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I love almost every army in the game, and I want to collect almost every army in the game. But I don't know. I'll have to see more of the range. Not super duper sold on it. Now, something I am kind of sold on is this boy. I knew when I saw that new Age of Sigmar one, they weren't going to just leave it at that. I knew they had to bring it to 40k as well. There's no reason. It's a Demon Prince. It can go in both. And now we see more options for it. It looks like almost everything on it is interchangeable, from the shoulder pads, the backpack, the arms, the weapons, the head. It looks like this kit is going to have some pretty crazy amount of options. And again, I personally, with my World Eaters, I've been trying so hard to keep it not super demonic, corrupted, possessed, whatever. I might have to make an exception for this guy. He is very cool looking. None of the heads super jump out at me, but I don't know. I just really like the kit. As you can see here on screen, they have given you, I think, like 6 different heads, confirmed at least. At least one for every god, plus one generic one for both Age of Sigmar and 40k. And yeah, I think it's a very cool kit. There is a lot to see in it, a lot of good little details. Obviously if I was doing it, I'd probably go Khorne, but I might find a different head to go with it. I don't know if I like the bearded Minotaur look. Maybe go more like draconic to go with the tail and the legs. But none of this fucking matters. Everybody, hold on to your butts. World Eaters were confirmed. None of the other stuff matters. This is what we're here for, boys. World Eaters were confirmed. They didn't show off anything. You know, there was no Big Daddy Angron, no nothing, but this is all I needed to be excited and motivated. They confirmed that they're coming because they kind of had to. They can't release the Chaos Codex and then just not have them in there. That wouldn't really make sense at all, obviously. So what they showed was this cool piece of artwork. The designer kind of talked about it. He confirmed that like new Berserkers were coming. He didn't confirm anything else, but he did say there's some stuff you'd expect and some stuff you wouldn't expect. So what we'd expect, probably Angron, probably Red Butchers. After that, I don't know. It could be any number of things, really. They showed some art here for some new chain axes that they will obviously have. And that's where they left it. They did say that coming alongside the Chaos Codex is going to be a white dwarf for the World Eaters so that you will have rules to play with for the updated rules for the Berserkers and like Karn. And then who knows? I don't know if this is going to be the very next book because they're already talking about it, or if it's going to be 6 months down the line. We'll just have to wait and see, but there is hope, brothers. Blood for the Blood God, Skulls for the Skull Throne.